Okay, so we've heard all those little tidbits of advice that have been passed down from generation to generation.
You know the ones, feed a cold, starve a fever, going outside with your wet hair is going to make you sick. The question is, are they fact or are they fiction? Well, today we're going to put to rest whether or not they're just old wives' tales or, in fact, fact.
Feed a cold, starve a fever. Eat a lot of carrots for good vision. Are these old wives' tales or are they legit? Answers in a moment, but first, let's take a closer look at some other popular claims. Cracking your knuckles causes arthritis.
There's no studies to confirm that. When you crack your knuckles, it's actually gas expanding that causes the noise.
Got it. What about this one? Going outside with wet hair will make you sick. Nah, not necessarily.
The decrease in body temperature could potentially make you more susceptible to certain viruses. However, just going out in wet hair does not always mean you're going to catch a cold.
Speaking of, let's go back to this saying, you should feed a cold to starve a fever.
The key to any illness is making sure you stay hydrated. Eating is not necessary, but definitely staying hydrated is important.
Okay, how about one that's at least partially true? Eating a lot of carrots can help your vision.
Eating an excess of them is not going to improve your vision. It will provide you the vitamin A that you need for vision, but eating them in excess is not going to give you x-ray vision or anything spectacular like that.
One thing for certain, getting a good amount of veggies is always a good thing.
So looking forward to that x-ray vision. So there's just a couple of pieces of advice that you've probably heard about. How about this one? You can use newspapers to clean windows. What do you think? Well, according to an article in Huffington Post, yes, it works. The fibers in the newspaper allow them to absorb liquids. Go right ahead, give it a shot. Mom, Dad, you're going to love this one. The Huffington Post says it is indeed true that peanut butter can be used to remove chewing gum. Add a couple of tablespoons to the spot and use a wire brush to scrape it. And finally, have you ever scratched your furniture at home?
Oh, yeah.
Got a little thing in there? Try walnuts. The oil from the walnut, you take it out of the shell. The oil from the walnut, you rub it on the blemish, takes right care of it.
Oh, okay. You got to be careful not to get another scratch, though.
True.
Very true. All right, so let's dig deeper into another thing you've probably always heard about food, that fresh vegetables are best when it comes to your health. Of course, we've all heard that. Well, before you whiz by the canned and frozen food aisle, back it up. Nutritionists will tell you those veggies can also pack a healthy punch.
Just look at these veggies and fruits, picked at their peak of freshness and flavor. It's a great way to enjoy your produce. Overall, vegetables fresh from the farm and just picked are healthiest, but sometimes they sit on grocers' shelves. Dietitians say if you can't get to a farmer's market, you may want to look at your frozen food or canned section.
Research shows that fresh, frozen, and canned vegetables are nutritionally equivalent because of the time to harvest and processing.
That's right. Frozen and canned vegetables are good for you too, because most are packed right after picking, which means they are full of nutrients.
Vegetables picked at their peak time of ripeness retain more of their vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants.
But beware of the salt, especially in canned veggies. Try to buy those without salt and know the best way to prepare vegetables. Don't overboil them, no matter what form they're in. Instead,
you want to cook vegetables in as little water as possible, so microwaving, steaming, and stir-frying are some of your best cooking methods.
And just in case you're worried about additives, registered dietitian Cynthia Sass says don't. When it comes to frozen veggies, even fruit, you'll often find single-word ingredient lists. And Cynthia says because freezing preserves food, no additives are needed.
There you go. How about
that?
Okay, so we've talked veggies, so it's okay to splurge every now and then,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Why not? Well, up next, we are going into the Delmarva Life kitchen to do exactly that. Andy's Place is here making a scrumptious sweet treat that's easy enough for a weeknight, but fancy enough if you want to entertain too.
And while we're talking food, do you ever make a few meals ahead of time? Well, Rachel Ray has a handy how-to tip to save you some time.
If you love make-ahead meals, you like to make a couple extra things if you have a whole afternoon or a whole day to cook, this is a great tip for quick cooling hot product so you can properly store it in the fridge or freezer. Of course, we all know it has to be brought back down to room temperature before you can put it there. Take your finished pot and then take the whole thing and put it in a larger container of ice and a little bit of cold water. Let that chill out, transfer it to your plastic food storage container for the fridge or the freezer, and you're good to go.